Hi, hello. Today I'm going to just be sitting here doing my makeup and kind of talking, chit chat, get ready with me style video, I guess. This is to just get myself a little bit more comfortable with talking in front of a camera. And I also want to use this as an opportunity to really document where I'm at, what has been going on the last week, just in my personal life with all of this craziness going on. And I want to make these videos so that I can look back later and see really like where my headspace was at. And I don't know, I'm just trying to do the things that make me happy and kind of take me out of the real world, and sitting here and painting on my face typically tends to do that. So I already have some things kind of laid out, like I kind of know where I'm going with this look. So what I'm gonna do is just leave everything in the description of what I'm using. I might mention it just for like a second. I'm just gonna do my makeup and kind of talk about what I've been doing this last week in quarantine. I was FaceTiming a friend last night and I was telling him just how weird it is, I guess, to say the phrase like I'm in quarantine or someone has been quarantined for X amount of days. I just find that so strange that we are living in this time period right now where it's like, I feel like I'm living in a movie. I really am. Like one of those sci-fi movies. It's really, really strange. So, where do I begin? So I guess I will start with losing my job. So obviously we've all been like hearing about this kind of stuff since probably, I don't remember it being talked about really around Christmas time, but it was probably because it was the holidays. Everybody's a little bit more focused on Christmas and New Year's and, you know, getting their life together and planning 2020 and planning the new year and all this stuff, which is like honestly my favorite time of the year. I love New Year's. It's probably one of my favorite holidays. I had the best New Year's this year. I had so much fun, and it just slowly started getting weirder from there. I'm not talking about my life in general. I mean, my life is weird all the time, but for the most part, I'm talking about just the state of the world, I guess. And I was making like my vision board for 2020, and just within the last month or so, trying to really save up for some of the concerts I was planning on going to, you know, paying for Bonnaroo, all this other stuff. I had this like weird feeling that I didn't know where to place it, of like, there was no urgency for me to do these things. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, for instance, I have been really wanting to get a facial with someone other than someone I work with, because I just, you know, I've been in the industry for a couple years and I want to see kind of what else is out there and just get some other estheticians like opinions and stuff like that. So I went back and forth with it for a really long time, but I knew who I wanted to book with. She's a girl like locally here. I knew who I wanted to book with. I knew which facial I wanted. I had looked at her menu like 10 times, but I couldn't bring myself to actually schedule something. And at first I was like, oh, it's probably just because it's a monetary thing. Like I didn't want to spend the money on something I could get for free at work. And so when I pushed past that, I finally just booked my appointment. And she was doing a gift card sale. So I was like, I'll book the appointment and then I'll book the appointment and then I will do I'll buy the gift card type of thing and I'll just use that. So I booked the appointment for April 3rd and never bought the gift card. I just kept pushing it off and like, I had this appointment booked, but I hadn't bought the gift card yet. And then all of this happened and she had to close up shop. I had to close up shop. I'm now jobless. So that's just one example of a lot of things that I found kind of strange. I was like apprehensive, or like I didn't know what to plan for this year. And usually I'm like on top of planning all of my vacations, especially if I know they're coming up in the spring, and that's where exactly I was at when all of this went down, was trying to start to finish saving and to pay for some of these tickets and stuff that I was about to go to. I wanted to like write down in the comments if you guys had any like really weird feelings about this year. Like, I know a ton of people were like, oh, it's 2020, it's a new year, like new decade, this is gonna be the best decade ever, this is gonna be the best year yet. I kind of had that feeling. Like I wanted to have that feeling, but I genuinely didn't know what I was feeling at the beginning of the year. And I find that super weird, because last year I was not like that. Last year I was very motivated. I got a lot done. I was very productive. And so I was like, maybe I'm just burnout, maybe whatever. I personally think my intuition knew something was up. Like, I think my intuition knew something was going to alter my plans, and that's kind of why I couldn't bring myself to finish scheduling things or finish paying for certain shows. It's such a weird thing. I'm going oddly out of order right now, but I realized I wanted to put a lip mask on. Before I get into anything else, I'm going to be using two palettes for my eyes. I'm going to be using the Just My Luck Colourpop palette. It's freaking so pretty. Lizzie got me this for Christmas, I want to say. But it's March and we didn't really get to celebrate St. Patty's Day, so I'm going to use this palette. The other palette I'm going to be using is the e.l.f. and JKissa palette. This one has a really pretty green. Last Monday was March the 16th, 2020. It is now Sunday, March 22nd. So basically a week ago. I had one client on Monday. And Mondays I usually have anywhere from like 2 to 3 or 4 facials. So I just had one. I knew it would probably be slow because of all of this virus stuff. It was actually starting that prior, like Thursday or Friday. And I kind of figured my books were going to be really slow that weekend, but I was really busy. And I think it was because a lot of people kind of got that feeling that something was like gonna happen and they wanted to get their facials and their massages in, which was cool because like I needed that. I needed the money that weekend. So Monday I had one client, super sweet girl. We had a really nice conversation about all of this. I was talking to my manager and stuff about everything too. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play this day by day, see what happens. Because I want to say that Monday, the governor of Ohio made, I think it was restaurants close. Yeah, it was that Monday. Because I was still at work and we were all talking about, no, it was that Sunday night. Yeah, that Sunday night, the Ohio governor decided to shut down restaurants except for dine-in and carry-out only, and like DoorDash and stuff like that. So that happened. I was talking to my boss about basically like what's gonna happen if we have to close. Like, I gotta pay my bills, and she was talking about filing for unemployment and all this stuff. So I started getting really nervous. Like, this is scary. This is some heavy stuff. And so Tuesday I called in. I had one client on my books, and I had been reading a ton of other people's opinions and stuff like that. And I work in people's faces. I work very close to them. And I just started to feel, I was like, I feel really uncomfortable about this. I would rather not take clients. And I saw a lot of other estheticians saying like, you know, just use like gloves and masks and that kind of stuff. Well, we didn't have masks and I couldn't find any at the store. And then I kept seeing people who were like, don't use masks if you don't need them, like save them for medical professionals. So I'm like, I don't know what to do, but I don't feel comfortable being in people's faces. Called in, I talked to my boss on Tuesday, and she was like, don't worry about it. I just got off a conference call, or she was talking to somebody about it. And I want to say it was later that day. So I ended up hanging out with a friend. We went and got pizza. We just like hung out. And as we were driving back to his house, I got a text message saying that the spa was closing and there was a link to file for unemployment. And I was kind of like, okay, this is weird. Like, this is so weird. I don't think I was in shock or denial or anything like that. I couldn't grasp the severity of the situation. And I didn't realize how many other people, like stupid me, didn't realize how many other people were going to have to file for unemployment as well. And that it would make the website like insanely slow. So fast forward, I spent probably two days on and off, 7 or 8 hours each, trying to figure out how to get unemployment. I finally filed. It's all good. Good, I guess. I don't really know. It's not good, but it is filed. I just gotta wait. I have a confirmation number. I just have to wait on other things. But it was so annoying. It was like telling me my pin wasn't like the correct pin, and it kept kicking me off, and you can only change your pin once a day. Dude, I've only ever created one pin. It's right. I have it written down, and I had it saved in my keychain or whatever. Whatever. It's done. I don't have to worry about that. I just have to worry about not paying my bills, which is awesome. Wednesday, I usually go to the gym, the Y, probably around 3 to 4 times a week. I want to say the last time I had gone to the gym was either that Saturday or that Friday. Yeah, I want to say it had been a little bit, because I started hearing things and I was like, I don't really like, the gym is like the last place I really want to be. Like, people don't wipe down their machines, and old men like sweat, and it's gross. So I think I had stopped going. My parents have an elliptical and like a yoga ball and like a weight set and stuff in their basement. So I went over there. I worked out Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Wednesday I came home. I think I like did some yoga, did a couple other things. And then at the end of the night, Lizzie was like, come over. She was leaving to go to Georgia the next day. So I wanted to see her before she left. And so I went over there. We had dinner. I, tried to not be super, like, within distance with her. I don't know what I was doing, what any of us expected or whatever. At this point, people were still saying, like, it wasn't as crazy as I think I have concluded that it is now. Now, at this point, I'm laid off of work, but, like, my roommate still had work. Her salon had not closed. And I knew of a fair amount of people who still had to go to work. So I was like, okay, well, they've not, like, I'm nervous for them. Like, I feel like they probably should if it's getting pretty bad. But I also kind of thought it was all just a lot. Like, I felt like at this point, I felt like people were overreacting for sure. Which sucks, because I really wish we could all go back like a week ago and just shut everything down, because we would be ahead of the curve right now. But we have gotten, like, I'm not going to pull up numbers, because every time I start looking into numbers and stuff like that, I get ridiculously anxious. So I'm just not, I'm not going to do that on camera at all. Know that there's over 300 cases in Ohio, and there were not any this time last week. Confirmed cases. So 300 people in less than a week. And one of them, I learned yesterday, is from Wright Pat Air Force Base, which I live very close to. And so I'm very happy that they closed the spa last week. I'm glad that I have like a week ahead of a lot of places. I am very upset though that a lot of my friends have still had to work, solely for the fact that if they were also off work, I would feel comfortable kind of like being not like in their faces or anything like that, or like sharing drinks and all of that kind of stuff. I would not be doing. I could at least, you know, be within the same room with them and feel comfortable. And I can't do that as of right now, which is really heartbreaking. And I do think that a lot of my friends, just from talking to them over the last 24 hours, the ones that are still having to go into work, I don't think really understand the severity of it yet because they are still being called into work. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but they still have jobs. They still have like an income and stuff like that, and I don't. And so I've been sitting at home reading things and trying to figure out unemployment. At the beginning of the year, I was told I got a promotion at work, and I've been working on that really hard, like reorganizing things and getting ready, and like I've been really busy at work. I set up an Instagram page for my aesthetics. Like I was so excited to like start doing more with skincare and just in general. Like I was very happy of where I was at in my career. I felt like for the most part my social life was really good, and I don't get to hang out or see the people that I've been hanging out with because of this. And they are the ones that are still working. So it's just very surreal, very upsetting, just such a weird time. I really, like, as I'm sitting here, I'm praying to God that my friends my friends that still are like going to work have not been exposed to it. Today, I decided to clean my room, like thoroughly clean my room. Like I dusted all of my shelves, wiped everything down with Clorox wipes, put up some shelves. I put up a couple pictures, like I hung some stuff up. I did a lot, and I was very like, oh yes, like I felt very productive all day, felt great. Well, I must have stirred up a lot of dust or something, because I then had, and I also, mind you, it was like going on 60 degrees that day. I had my window open, but it was raining. So by the end of the day, after I had been cleaning and everything, I also went on a walk. I think I went on a walk that day or did yoga or something. I don't know. All my workouts are like blending together at this point. Ooh, I know what I'm going to do. But yeah, so I had basically stirred up dust or something like that to where I had like a light cough. And like I have a cough all the time. I had pneumonia when I was a senior in high school. Developed asthma from that. So I've just always kind of had a cough anyways. And this time of the year, everybody like is freaking got colds and stuff like that. So I also have anxiety. If I feel like I'm going to have an anxiety attack, I typically get chest pains, like particularly in my sternum. And then I have like upper back pain from these guys. At the end of Thursday, I had convinced myself that I had this virus. Very like, I was freaking out. I had two friends who kind of talked me down a little bit out of thinking that I had it. They were like, you're fine, you're gonna be okay, like stop freaking yourself out. And so they kind of helped me. But the next day I felt a lot better. I decided to, that was the day. It was the day after I talked myself up. I decided to go on a walk in my neighborhood. So I ran a little bit, but I mostly walked. About 3 miles, I want to say. So I did a couple laps in our neighborhood, and it started raining on me a little bit, but for the most part, it was nice out. It was sunny. But I will say, it has been raining here constantly, like the entire week that I've been in quarantine or whatever. Friday, I woke up, went on the run, felt so much better, like 100 times better. Basically convinced myself that I had worked myself up too much and that I'm going to be a-okay. My God. That's what I forgot to put in. Wednesday. From my parents from like working out, and I had kind of decided that that was my last day doing that. So I've been to my parents one other time to get some groceries, and I didn't even go in the house. So I'm done going over there. I pulled into our parking lot, and I was sitting in my car just chilling, and I got on Instagram and saw that Bonnaroo had been postponed. And I started crying, and like I messaged Lizzie and a couple of my other friends and that go, and everybody's saying the same thing, like, you know, be grateful that it's not canceled. It got postponed to September. At this point, it's like mid-March. Bonnaroo's not until the middle of June. That's like 3 months away, and they're rescheduling it. So the fact that they think this is gonna go on for another 3 months just, it makes me so sad, and it makes me so sick to my stomach. Just like, how bad is this actually gonna get? Like, other countries are on full lockdown and have been on full lockdown for a really long time. And it blows my mind. Like, I can't believe what is going on right now. My heart hurts for all the people that love to go to concerts to get away for things. If I talk any more about it, I'm gonna cry, so I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna do a winged liner, but I don't feel like doing it anymore. I'm just gonna put on some like really fat lashes. Fortunately, another few concert, I was only gonna go to one, was GRWM. They just came out with an album. Their album is so good. It's called Healer. Go check it out right now. They had to cancel their entire tour. I didn't say cancel, they're postponing their entire tour. They've been doing like Instagram lives, and every day during a weekday they go on and just play some acoustic songs from their new album. They've taken requests, they've done a lot of their old stuff too, but it is just, that community is just so amazing to me. Like, that was kind of like the highlight of my day. It's been pretty cool doing the live streams besides having to deal with that other stuff. I'm really excited for them to do it again this week, so I have something to kind of look forward to every day. Oh, I colored my hair, so that was something else that I did. I want to say I did that on Thursday or Friday. I'm not really sure. If I go back and really try to figure out what I did on which day, I'm sure I would be able to. Foundation that I have. I saw a ton of people doing reviews on it. I was super pumped to get it. Should not have bought it, because I, at the time, probably shouldn't have spent $40, but I was completely out of foundation, so it's whatever. What was I talking about? Bought the Bite Beauty foundation, like their new one that they just came out with, because I love Bite Beauty. Like, I've really been happy with every product I've ever gotten from them. But I saw this foundation and I saw everybody talking about it, and they kept saying it was like medium coverage that you could kind of build. This is kind of in my opinion, I think this is kind of on the thicker side. The last foundation I was using was Nude Sticks, and it was like a tinted moisturizer, so I was used to hit like a light finish. Second that I'm out of this, I am buying that stick foundation, because it is quite honestly the best foundation I've ever used, and I love it so much. Today and yesterday I've been doing a lot of video stuff, and I really think that I'm gonna keep up with this. If not for anybody else's entertainment, at least my own. I'm gonna go in and try to not make myself look like a ghost right now. This is an Anastasia stick foundation as well, but it is a contour stick in mink, so it's one of their like contour sticks. I'm trying to look at the bright side of all of this kind of stuff, and I really feel like once we come out of this, everyone is just gonna be like I feel like once we come out of this, the whole world and like even within our own friend groups and stuff is going to be very thankful for each other. The only thing I have left to do with this look is to do my lower lash line. I think I'm going to use this minty color. That right underneath. I kind of want to do not a series or anything like that, but ooh, I should do like a 3 looks, 1 palette type of. I love those videos. Like, I absolutely love seeing people doing multiple looks within one palette, but within one video. Like, I love that so, so much. So maybe I'll do that with the Shane Dawson palette. I have the Conspiracy palette, like the big one. And I used it quite a bit when I first got it in. And I've kind of slowed down on it just from slowing down and doing makeup anyways. But maybe I'll pull that guy out and do like a 3 looks in one video. It would probably not be a talk through like this because we would literally be here all day if we did that. This is the Anastasia Moonchild. I don't even remember what it's called. It's a Moonchild palette. This is the current state of her. I have busted this. It's been moved like 3 times. My heart aches every time I open this because my favorite one in here is Pink Heart, and that's the one that lost its life. I'm gonna use the Lucky Clover. It's like the green shade, and I'm going to put that on my inner corner right here. My boss just texted me. She was saying how I didn't realize you had to file for unemployment once a week. Like, you have to do it every single week. That's crazy. I really do love my job, and I love the career field that I went into, and it just sucks, man. Like, I saw a tweet the other day that was like, does anybody else feel like they were just getting their life together when all of this like stuff started to go down? And I just stopped and was like, yeah. Like, I was saving money. I was like genuinely kind of happy in some relationships and stuff like that. What the heck is going on, man? Hi, JT. He's not crying anymore. Oh. JT is gonna make an appearance in this video. Hi. You wanna say hi? JT. What are you doing? To finish off this look, I'm gonna use one of the Colourpop Luxe glosses. This came in a bundle with something else, but this one's my favorite. Alright, well, I've talked way too much. I think what I'm gonna do is film one of these about once a week. I'm hoping once it starts to get a little bit warmer outside, I could do one outside. This was for me to get out of my head today and to just create and do something fun for myself. I had the realization not even longer than maybe an hour or 2 ago that there's the people that I am closest to at this moment in time, I might not get to see again for another few weeks. And like, that's kind of hard when you see these people almost every single day and you just aren't, like, you're forced to not see these people. But if it means keeping me safe and keeping them safe and healthy and everything, like, I just want everyone to know that the social distancing thing is like legit. Like, it can really, really help. I know you can't help it if you still have to go to work or if you're in the health field, anything like that. Thank you for doing what you're doing. You want to head over to my Instagram. I'm also going to probably post a picture of this where I will list all of those and tag the brands and stuff like that as well. So yes, thank you for watching. I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on my next one.